What up, MetaZoo Maniacs and Crypto Campers? Today is July 9th, 2025. And spoiler alert, this video might be a little negative, might have some criticism. There's going to be some positive points too. So if you do watch this video, you're going to like some of the stuff I have to say. But I am going to be sprinkling out a little bit of salt. It's going to be a saltwater video, not a freshwater video. If you get my torrential tides reference there. So anyways, we got Loveland Frogman, the new artwork, Loveland, Ohio. Boom, pinned right there. I don't know if this is a prosthetic leg or a cast or a sock or what's going on here. Interesting. Reminds me of Hero Quest a little bit, where they have like the robotic parts. This is our newest spoiler card. And no, this is not me spoiling a card. But when you think of Loveland, Ohio, Loveland Frogman, who do you think in the MetaZoo world? Who do you think could be spoiling this card? And honestly, I didn't even know about this card. Someone sent it to me saying, hey, did you see this card getting spoiled? And I was like, no. But the first thing that came to my mind was Nick Strength in Pokemon. But it was not Nick Strength in Pokemon. So maybe he's not spoiling his card until, you know, the last week of July, maybe a week before the set comes out. But maybe sooner the better, because if anyone has reached to a wider, broader community of people that aren't into MetaZoo to get the word out, it'd be Nick Strength in Pokemon. So hopefully they hook him up with one crazy Loveland Frogman. But I mean, this would have been the perfect Loveland Frogman card for him to spoil. Absolutely perfect. Now, it was actually spoiled by Shining Cards and Collectibles. And here's the thing. I really wish that MetaZoo Discord, their announcements, they would have a list of who's going to be spoiling cards. Because if someone didn't send this to me, like, I'm not on Instagram too much. I'm not subscribed to everyone that does MetaZoo content on Instagram. I would never have seen this card. And maybe there's people watching this video that have not seen this card because the only way you could see it is if you were actually subscribed to Shiny Cards and Collectibles on Instagram. But how would you know to be subscribed to them if MetaZoo's not, you know, letting us know who's going to get spoilers? And who knows how many spoilers out there, or are out there, that most of us will never see. And it's not a big deal, I guess. I mean, eventually we're going to see the set. People are going to open up the boxes. We're going to see it all eventually. But, I mean, if you're going to call them spoilers, at least give us a chance to know how to find the spoilers and who's going to have the spoilers, so we can grow as a community and subscribe to each other and build our audience. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And we'll talk about more about Nick Strength and Pokemon at the end of the video too. So stay tuned for that. So let's go over to MetaZoo Discord and the announcements. I mean, what's the most recent announcement? CollectFest. And we'll talk about CollectFest right away because something is a little weird going on here. But anyways, we'll get to that in a second. So when they announced this, the CollectFest, July 4th, 2025. I'm surprised they announced this, but didn't talk about, like, Happy Independence Day. I'm from Canada, so it doesn't matter to me. They didn't say anything about Happy Canada Day either. But no Happy Independence Day or 4th of July. Are you going to the fireworks? Anything like that. But anyways, what do we got here? I can't believe they actually spoiled a Hidden Rare. I think a lot of people didn't like that. But, interesting. So, Kraken Hidden Rare, I don't think that's a surprise. I think everyone knew that was coming. But anyways, so when we go through the announcements here, where are all the other spoilers? Like, there's, you know, a couple here and there, but not many. There's a lot of spoilers out that are not in the announcements. So why not make a list? And I know I've said this in many other videos and commented on other people's videos. Like, make a list of all the people that have already had spoilers so we can go find them, so we can go see them, so we can comment, and that grows the community, connecting people with each other. But right now, it's a big goose hunt, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's a big Easter egg chase. But we don't know what direction to go in. Like, I don't know. I would have had no idea that Shining Cards and Collectibles was going to spoil the Loveland Frogman card, which is absolutely crazy. So we have TMX's, but where's DPD19's Charman, right? I mean, he's not in here. Why not? That doesn't make sense. Like, you should have everybody's spoiler in the announcements. At least that's the way I see it. Where's Cryptic Keeper? Right? I mean, he had one the other day. It's not in here, though, so why not? And where's Bunnyman's? Bunnyman had a really crazy spoiler for some new caster, some water caster that's going to totally change the gameplay. It looked pretty crazy. So, I don't know. MetaZoo, if you're listening, just make a list, put in an announcement so we can see who got the spoilers and who has spoilers coming up for the rest of July so we can follow them. And then it'll alert us, like on our YouTube channel, we can set the alert bell, or it'll show up on our feed, on our wall on Instagram, who knows. So anyways, that's a little bit of salt that I had to get out there on the way MetaZoo's doing some things. But on a positive note, this MetaZoo TCG Organized Play Showcase 2025 video, absolute banger, absolute home run. When MetaZoo does stuff like this, they know, like, I don't know who's in charge, but they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this video. Absolutely brilliant. I can't lie, I'm not a big TCG player. I don't play the games. I'll probably get into MetaZoo once it's online and everything and the rules are in place, so if I screw up, the automated system will tell me what I did wrong, whatever. So, but with this video, I mean, even though I don't play the game, when I watch this, I got hyped up. It made me want to play, it made me want to get into it, which is huge for someone that doesn't actually play TCG games. So whatever they're doing with these videos, whoever's in charge, keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. But then if we scroll down all the way to the most recent announcement on the Discord, we have this CollectFest video. So let's just watch it really quick. Really quick. Okay, we'll stop the generic video right there. So, what does it say here? MetaZoo trading card game, CollectFest, collectfest.com.au. Now, what do we got here? We have some dates. Now, is it fair to say, everyone watching, before I start sprinkling some salt again, that MetaZoo is going to be at Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney, right? Is that fair to say? Well, let's go to collectfest.com.au. So when we go to the CollectFest website, go to exhibitor directory, and yeah, let's type in MetaZoo. Let's see their convention booth. Oh, there's nothing. Oh, maybe that's because I'm on Sydney. Oh, Melbourne, nothing. Brisbane, nothing. So MetaZoo is not even being advertised on the CollectFest website, but yet MetaZoo had an announcement 5 days ago that they're going to be at these conventions in their Discord. Now, I hope I'm missing something. I hope I'm completely wrong. But as far as I can tell, MetaZoo was not at Melbourne CollectFest because it already happened July 5th and July 6th. That was 3 to 4 days ago. And as far as I can tell, they were not there. Now let's click on Melbourne. Now some of you might be thinking, oh, well, Melbourne's already done. Maybe they just don't have it updated anymore, the website or whatever. Here, let's choose a random vendor here. Watch. Let's check this out. Actually, I already know which vendor I want because I went through this already. I found a really interesting one. DPD19. No, I'm just joking. DTP Draw. So let's type in the name for that vendor right there, right? Let's see if it shows up. Because maybe the CollectFest website isn't working. Maybe their search engine isn't working. So let's put it to the test. So remember, when you type in MetaZoo, nothing comes up. It doesn't matter which one you click on, right? So I'll go back to Melbourne here. Let's go to DPD19. DTP. Yeah, see? It pops up right away. Even before that, it does pull it up when you search. So the search engine works, which, you know, illustrates my point. MetaZoo is not being advertised at all at CollectFest. Meanwhile, MetaZoo, in their most recent announcement, is advertising that they're going to be there. So my question is, which is it? Is MetaZoo just not showing up, but they're saying they're going to show up? Or, and maybe this will be something for MetaZoo to look into, if they were there in Melbourne on July 5th and July 6th, and they're going to be at Brisbane and Sydney, they should contact CollectFest and be like, hey, what are you doing, guys? We paid for our booth. We paid to be advertised. Why are we not being featured? Because if we go to CollectFest, right, even for Sydney coming up in August, there are a lot of vendors on here. So where's MetaZoo? It's not like they haven't updated their website and they haven't, like, you know, they don't know who's going to be has tables or whatever. I mean, yeah, they got a lot of different vendors already advertised here. So why is MetaZoo not on here? That's all I'm going to say. Like, something's not adding up. It's either CollectFest is being weird or MetaZoo's being weird. I don't know. Which one is it? Anyways, back to Loveland Frogman. You know why this card has me excited? Because it's a lot like this card right here, Mothman, the 1-star rarity, which they made into the crazy borderless promo card for the convention packs that you have to trade up to. So I guarantee there's going to be a Loveland Frogman exactly like this, and that is going to be epic to collect. Because this card, borderless, and showing the lily pads and all that, is going to be absolutely beautiful. And if you're wondering who illustrated it, it was Oliver Hamlin. And another thing I'm very excited about with Torrential Tides, if I had to put some positive notes in here, is Jet Yates and the Jet Yates box. Because we know Jet Yates is going to get the alternate art chase box in all the cases. And we all know Jet Yates is an amazing artist. Like, look how badass this Mothman is. What do you think Jet Yates is going to do with Loveland Frogman as a shadow rare? It's one of those exclusive promos in the Jet Yates box. I cannot wait to see that. So, I know I'm being kind of salty in this video, but I'm just being honest, right? I'm not trying to be a yes man. I'm trying to be more like one of my goats in content creation and YouTube, which is Pokerev. He always gives his honest opinion. You know, whether he's opening up mystery boxes or he's getting product directly from Pokemon, he'll give his honest 2 cents on what he thinks about everything. And I really like his style, and I try to do that kind of style on my channel too, where I just, you know, give it from the horse's mouth my true opinion, no sugarcoating, maybe a little salt. And trust me, I'm still collecting MetaZoo, right? As much as it sounds like I'm just like, I don't like what's going on, this looks weird. It's because, you know, when I think things could be done better, you got to point out. Because if no one says anything, the company will never know, right? They said they changed the MetaZoo box, the original box, to the Sun Wukong box because the community didn't like Bigfoot or the way the fake Bigfoot looked. So I'm just saying, maybe if I say, hey, put some more stuff in the announcements as to where the spoilers are. You know, why is, you know, CollectFest not aware of MetaZoo or advertising them at all? Right? Maybe they need to hear that, because maybe they didn't notice. Don't forget, in the very first story on the MetaZoo website for one of the stories, there was a typo right in the first sentence that I noticed with my AI when I made an AI video about it, and they changed it. So, anyways, so sometimes being critical is a good thing. But just to show you that I'm still into MetaZoo, and we're going to talk about Nick Strength and Pokemon here as well, he had quite a few auctions in recently with Loveland Frogman cards. And I love collecting MetaZoo. So Nick Strength and Pokemon, if you're watching this video, a lot of your cards went to a good home. So I picked up 4 cards from him for cheaper than these cards have ever sold for. So we have Loveland Frogman, Refractor, PSA 10 for only $15.50. We got Loveland Frogman, Refractor, the alternate art, PSA 10 for $19.77. We got Loveland Frogman, alternate art, Cryptid Camera, just the base red, whatever. PSA 10, there's only 3 of these that graded PSA 10, but only 12 have been sent in. It's not like many people send these in, but $27. And also, and before I get to the Loveland or the Nick Strength of Pokemon auction, on June 22nd, DPD 19, he had this in auction. He started at $30. It got 2 bids. It got up to $30.99 for the X-Fractor alternate art Mothman PSA 10. Thing is, I put a bid on this, but he canceled it, so he must know who I am on eBay. He canceled my bid. But I gotta thank you, DPD19. You did me a huge favor, because I would have paid, you know, I think my bid was $35, so I would have ended up paying probably like $31, $32 for your card. But because you canceled that bid and I still wanted this card, Nick Strength and Pokemon put one up in auction, and I won it for $13.50. That is insane. It's an X-Fractor Loveland Frogman PSA 10. So like the title of this video says, Loveland Frogman, where are you? And this is what I mean. Look how cheap Loveland Frogman cards are selling for as PSA 10s from MetaZoo Topps Chrome, arguably the best set MetaZoo ever had. And these cards as PSA 10s are near impossible to grade as PSA 10s, very low population, are selling for less or maybe equivalent to what it costs to get the card graded, which by default is a steal of a deal. If you're buying a PSA 10 of any card for less than what it costs to get the card graded, that's a steal of a deal. So yeah, thank you DPD19 for not letting me pay triple for the exact same card. I mean, I wouldn't mind having this card of yours and Nick Strength of Pokemon so I could have 2 of these, but I'm not complaining. That was a pretty good deal. Or maybe this is saying something else in the MetaZoo market. I mean, on June 22nd, this card, people were willing, well, there's 2 bids. Someone was willing to pay $30, but then like 2 weeks later, no one was willing to pay more than $13.50. So the closer we're getting to Torrential Tides, the cheaper Loveland Frogman cards are getting on the secondary market, which is really bizarre. You'd think it would be the exact opposite way around. which just shows there's very little hype in the outside world for Torrential Tides. I mean, a couple months ago, we had Kickstarter Loveline Frogman Raw, $175 as a buy it now. And then on May 25th, 2025, we had Kickstarter Loveline Frogman PSA 10, so for $184.50, which is pretty cheap. And then what, a week or two after that, June 5th, 2025, another Kickstarter Loveline Frogman Full Hollow PSA 10 for only $116 American. Right? So it's just crazy to me that the closer we get in the Torrential Tides release date, the lower in value these cards are going, which I'm not complaining, because I really wanted this card for my collection. I believe there's only 3 or 4 of these that graded as a PSA 10. So obviously you don't see them on eBay too often because there aren't that many out there. So I'm not complaining at all. I'm very happy. I mean, I'm always going to collect MetaZoo cards. I mean, even if MetaZoo, let's say, there's a bankruptcy letter next year, they went out of business and never came back, I would still love my collection. I absolutely love the MetaZoo collection that I have. But I also have to say, numbers don't lie. With Loveline Frogman, undoubtedly the second most popular cryptid in, like, say, base set MetaZoo. Obviously, when we get to the darker stuff and Nightfall and all that, Wendigo is going to be the king. But Loveline Frogman's undisputed number 2. When the, number 2 cryptid is not doing too well on the secondary market, and a crazy spoiler card like this isn't even put in the announcements for MetaZoo Discord, I mean, someone's got to say something. Like, I mean, something isn't right here. Like, I don't know. Maybe if someone has a whole bunch of those Loveline Frogman Halloween masks from the original MetaZoo, someone's got to go out, like, maybe Catching Cryptids. You got to streak in a football game with that mask on, so people are like, who was that naked dude but wait a minute, what was that mask? And then people are like, that's Loveline Frogman. They'll be like, what's Loveline Frogman? They'll be like, oh, MetaZoo. And then, I don't know, something's got to give, man. Something's got to give. Because I just feel like MetaZoo doesn't know how to advertise himself very well. I mean, to the 13 people watching this video, we're like, oh yeah, like, we know all about it. But outside of that, I mean, no one really knows. And the biggest problem, the elephant in the room, a lot of people that do know about MetaZoo being back don't want to touch it because they're not even aware that the old MetaZoo isn't the same as the new MetaZoo. And I know people like Charlie or Trementic will be like, oh, you got to go down to your local LGS and explain it to them. Well, I don't know, man. Like, here comes a little more salt in this video. The money's in our wallets. You know what I mean? Like, you need to come to my door and tell me why I should want your product. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it's like in the States, but I mean, up here in Canada, they have Girl Guide cookies, and when kids in elementary school want to do fundraisers, they go door to door and you sell your product, whatever. You got to go to the person's door, you have to have a sale pitch, you have to convince them to give you their money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go down to the Girl Guide cookies or down to the local school and be like, hey, so are you guys selling chocolates this month or today? You know what I mean? Like, you know how a fundraiser works, right? Like, you got to get the person's attention. You don't. Most people aren't going out looking for fundraisers to donate their money to. When they show up somewhere and there's a fundraiser already promoting themselves, that's when you give them money. You guys get what I'm saying. So, I don't think that makes sense for anyone to be saying, oh, we got to go down and, like, advertise MetaZoo for MetaZoo. I mean, at this point, why would I even do that? I'm loving the secondary market. I'm sure a lot of other people are in this video are loving it too. I mean, prices are cheaper than they've ever been, even in the dip of 2024 MetaZoo. The great MetaZoo crash, but that's not even a crash anymore. That's like a speed bump compared to what's going on now. And that's all I'm saying, like in other videos, what chance does Torrential Tides have if the secondary market is completely flooded by OG MetaZoo, which is because the new MetaZoo, when they got the inventory, sold it off to EV and HQ, then EV and HQ used their partner company or whatever, Quote, to liquidate off so much, and now the secondary market is absolutely flooded. Like I said earlier, there's more UFO booster boxes than there are stars in the galaxy. As we saw at CollectFest doesn't even know. CollectFest has no idea. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I hope I'm wrong. It's like I made a video last October and November saying the same kind of stuff about GQL and GameCubator Labs. It didn't seem like they knew what they're doing with their social medias and promoting anything. But we're already into July, and I still have the exact same feeling. Now, I'm collecting it. I bought a case for the last set. I got the Poncho box. Obviously, this next set, I'll be honest, I'm not pre-ordering anything. Well, partially because of the tariffs, and partially because I really have to wait and see, like most of us, to see if the print quality is better. I hear that the rarity level system is going to be better, right? But I'm not the only one. I think 99% of people listening to this video are on the same fence. Now, there might be 1 or 2 people that are ordering a case, but how many people, compared to the last set, are ordering a case for themselves, just for their own personal inventory to open up? Because anyone ordering cases at this point are just companies, right? I mean, there's very few, probably less than a handful of people ordering a case just for themselves to open up for their own fun. So that's not a good sign. Even the last set, I mean, pre-orders were selling out. It was pretty crazy. But this time around, there's a lot of stores on eBay and who knows where else that can't even sell pre-orders for like $85 a box, even less. But the one saving grace for MetaZoo might be the set after Torrential Tides, which when Wendigo comes out. I think Wendigo is going to save MetaZoo. I'm calling it right now. If you made it this far in the video, I'm calling it. I think Wendigo is going to be the game changer that saves MetaZoo and puts MetaZoo on the map for all the disbelievers, for all the people that didn't know that there's new management. Because honestly, if new MetaZoo was able to get out the word and like get some press release out that new MetaZoo is not the same as old MetaZoo, it would do absolutely wonderful. But it does have the bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and no one, well, the company, as far as I know, hasn't really done much to explain that to old LGSs, and I don't know, you get what I'm saying. You know, making things harder for themselves just by not getting the word out properly. Especially with the Discord and the announcements. I mean, if you're going to give out spoilers to people, which is an amazing idea, I love that they're doing that, make sure the community knows who is actually getting the spoilers. Because I've said it in comments before, it's like that old saying, right? If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a noise? Right? And same thing with spoilers. Like, if spoilers are given out, but no one's around to see the spoilers, or no one's even aware that the spoilers are being spoiled, then is it really a spoiler? You know what I mean? Like this Loveland Frogman we've been looking at for the last few minutes here while I'm babbling. As I'm making this video, I would not known about this card, and probably until someone opened the set, if someone didn't send me the screenshot. And honestly, I don't know how it wasn't Nick Strength the Pokemon that didn't get to spoil this. I mean, Nick Strength the Pokemon hasn't been around for a while, and I don't know, he's selling a lot of his collection off. Maybe he's out. Maybe he's like, I don't know, maybe he's like, okay, I'm good, whatever. Who knows? Hopefully he comes back, because losing Nick Strength and Pokemon would be a massive blow. I mean, yes, there is a new community forming, and it's nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a new community, but I mean, that's a pillar of the community that when MetaZoo went bankrupt and he sold off his 101 Mothman, that was a huge blow. Like, a lot of people saw that, including myself, and you could just feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when, it'd be like in the third Star Wars movie, when Anakin, when he turned to the dark side, you could just feel it. You're like, ah, fuck. But also at the same time, you're like, hell yeah. And that's what it was like when Nick Strength of Pokemon sold his 101 Topps Chrome Mothman. It was like, oh shit, like things just got real. Like, if someone like that selling off a Grail card like that, there's not much, you know, point in believing in MetaZoo. And that turned a lot of people off of MetaZoo because he lost faith in MetaZoo. So all I'm saying is, MetaZoo, you need to reach out to Nick Strength to Pokemon, maybe send them some product ahead of time. I know some people might agree or not agree that certain content creators should get product for free ahead of time to showcase on their channel. But if there is one channel that needs to have product before product release to show off, to spoil, like send them a case, whatever, it's Nick Strength and Pokemon. Shoot, even just sell it to him at, I'm sure he would pay distribution pricing to get that case. You know what I mean? Like at this point, if we lose Nick Strength and Pokemon, that is the last Goliath in MetaZoo. And if we don't have that last Goliath, who do we have? Just a bunch of Davids? DPD 19 reference. Right? So we just have a bunch of Davids running around? No Goliath? You get what I'm saying? We're not going to do too well. Anyways, I'm babbling a little too much. Hope you get my point. I'm still around. I'll still make MetaZoo videos. They might be saltier or appear to be saltier, but I'm just going based on the facts. I'm going based on the numbers. I mean, the only silver lining that MetaZoo has left is Mothman. I mean, look at this Mothman that Nick Strength of Pokemon sold. It only, as a PS8, sold for decent money because it was 69 out of 99. But even this one, the X-Fractor Mothman. You know why this sold for $94? Because my max bid was $93. And this just shows you, also as a bonus note, the power of Mothman. It's like the separation between Charizard and Blastoise. I mean, Mothman, X-Fractor, PSA 10, $94. the exact same card, alternate art, right? Because the other one was an alternate art Mothman. This is alternate art Loveland Frogman X Fractor PSA 10, only $13.50. Meanwhile, alternate art Mothman, $94, right? So myself and one other person felt like Mothman was worth that much more. And once again, thank you DPD19 for canceling my bid so that I was able to get the exact same card for literally a third of the price. But honestly, if the person didn't pay for this card and you relisted it at $30 and I was allowed to bid on your auctions, I would buy it from you. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, he's got it up here. Pop 3, yeah. There's only 3 of these as a PSA 10. So I'm glad I was able to get one. And if Nick Strength the Pokemon, if you're watching this video, don't worry, all your Loveland Frogman cards went to a good home. I will be making a video before Torrential Tides comes out, showcasing all my Loveland Frogman cards. So anyways, hopefully everyone enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too salty. Hopefully there's a little fresh water. I mean, I will always give credit where credit's due. The MetaZoo TCG Organized Play Showcase video was absolutely amazing. For anyone that hasn't watched it, trust me, watch it and you'll be like, yeah, I want to learn to play the game MetaZoo. Absolutely beautiful how this video was done. But I will always remain critical when I see things that don't make sense, like this CollectFest and how MetaZoo's not being promoted on the collectfest.com.au website at all. And it doesn't even look like they attended Melbourne, but meanwhile, this clearly implies that they were going to be there. So, I don't know what happened there. And why this spoiler wasn't in the announcement section in the Discord really boggles my mind. So anyways, comment below, let me know what you think. If you didn't see the spoiler for Loveland Frogman until this video, that just further proves my point as to why they need to announce this in the announcements. And if you want to comment on this spoiler, just go to Shiny Cards and Collectibles on Instagram. And yeah, that's it for that. Hopefully Nick Strength Pokemon has a spoiler or showcases some product before Torrential Tides comes out on August 1st. Because on July 31st would be 4 years since I ever gone into MetaZoo. July 31st, I believe it was July 31st, 2021 was when I was watching Nick Strength Pokemon open up. Normally he would be opening up some Pokemon cards. And that's when I seen him showcase the MetaZoo for the very first time. And I was hooked ever since. And that's how I even discovered Loveland Frogman. So, anyways, comment below and let me know what you think. And if you don't agree with some stuff I had to say, please comment below even more so. Because I'm not always right, but I'm just going based on the facts and figures that I do see. So, anyways, I say it too many times, comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.